Dr. Shadi Saffari is a naturopathic doctor who is passionate about treating the root cause of chronic pain and has a special interest in women's physical and emotional well being. Dr. Safari believes in building a compassionate connection with her patients and aims to help empower them to build healthy habits in order to become the best version of themselves to live a balanced life. Welcome, Dr. Safari.
Thank you so much, Marcy, for having me here.
So we're going to talk about fatigue. Fatigue is a very common complaint. You know, so many people complain about being tired all the time or not having enough energy. So I'm super happy to be chatting about this with you. And we know, off the bat, fatigue can stem from so many different causes, whether it's vitamin deficiencies and to a whole host of other things. So what do you see most in your practice that are the common causes of fatigue?
So the most common causes and simpler causes, I would say, is nutritional deficiency that can be caused to malabsorption because of having a compromised digestion. So these common ones, I would say, it's iron deficiency is very common, especially in menstruating females. B12 deficiency and vitamin D are the top three vitamins that I'm seeing very deficient in my patient. The second most common one, I would say, it's hormone dysregulation. So that can be having a lower functioning thyroid gland, so hypothyroidism, which can be due to an autoimmune root or just having a sluggish thyroid. And lastly, I would say stress. Being under chronic long-term stress will drain your adrenal glands in terms of cortisol production and cause more of consistent fatigue that is really hard to get over with. And in today's world that we're so stimulated and there's so much going on, I would say stress is one of the biggest causes of fatigue and being tired.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So we can test for the deficiencies in iron and B12 and vitamin D, but stress is something that someone's going to have to talk to you a little bit more in great depth and say, this maybe it's stemming from here. So you'll rule out the mineral and vitamin deficiency before you move on to other causes.
Exactly. So I usually do a simple blood work for those mineral and nutrient deficiency, and then moving to see why is the fatigue consistent, and then digging into deeper to see if there is any autoimmune condition going on. Is there any chronic low-grade infection going on? So those would be more uncommon causes that you have to dig a bit deeper to find. Some of the infections that are usually, I would say, it's harder to find. It's like a tooth infection that has been going on for years and years, and you realize that, hey, like, you have to take care of your oral hygiene to have enough nutrient in your body. So I've caught a lot of those as well, which are interesting.
Wow, that is super interesting. That wouldn't have been top of mind for me to be a reason for the cause of fatigue. So how does someone improve fatigue? So what do you tell them when they come to you and they're, just beside themselves, and at least what's the starting point for them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think the starting point is to coming to that realization that you're tired and taking a break from the stressors in your life and just noticing how you're feeling. Then we can chat to see if it's a physical symptoms, are the symptoms more mental, and then making lifestyle modification. I would say it's key. So taking time for yourself to really do something that you really love and finding time for yourself to work on your health, I would say it's key. And from there, putting time to exercise, being outside in the nature, it's a really good start in terms of overcoming that fatigue, especially if it's long standing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. It's asking people the hard questions and having them kind of really look at themselves, look at their life, and be honest that maybe they're not getting the exercise they need. Maybe they're not getting great sleep. Maybe they're not eating what they should be, or they're taking too many stimulants, and then they're unable to sleep at night. So I think there's a big, big picture, and it really take. You're not a miracle worker. It's going to take
Exactly.
them really being honest with themselves to get to the root. And there is a possibility. There's something. It's out of their control, and
Because
it's
I think as a patient, you know yourself the best. So if you are able to identify the reason, you're the best person to do that. And from then, all I can do is ask you and guide you to help you look at different stages of your life. For example, your sleep. Are you sleeping well? Are you getting enough sleep? Or diet and other lifestyle choices. So I would say I would be the guide to ask the question and bring that awareness to them so they can figure out the reason if they can change it. And from there, I can do my part in terms of testing, supplementation, and so on and so forth.
oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much. Fatigue is such an important conversation, something we all experience. And it's good to know sometimes it is within our control to turn it around. And sometimes we need a little extra help. And sometimes we need to just run a bunch of tests to figure out, what the root cause is so that we can turn it around. Because it's no fun going through every single day feeling absolutely exhausted. So appreciate all the work you're doing for all your patients.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.